From the Newsroom. I'm your host, Abby Volz. From the Newsroom is a weekly news update brought to you by the Southeast Arrow. The candidates for the District 8 congressional seat are campaigning in preparation for the primaries to be held in August. Here is more on that story. 2026 is a midterm year. While there is no presidential election, House and Senate races are getting underway, which will determine the balance of power in Congress. In Missouri's District 8, which stretches from Rolla to Cape Girardeau and the Bootheel, candidates have already started campaigning. 3 Democratic, 2 Republican, and 1 Libertarian candidate are on the ballot for the primary, which is scheduled for August 4th. This includes the incumbent Republican Representative Jason Smith. Smith is a strong supporter of President Trump and has held the position for 12 years. SEMO Associate Professor of Political Science, Philosophy, and Religion, Dr. Ivy Shin, said that Smith comes into the race with advantages and disadvantages.
Well, I think the biggest advantage is that Congressman Smith is an incumbent, so he's currently in office, right? Incumbents certainly have the advantage of being in this political power, having a political clout, and him, having a bigger donor base than other competitors in this race. So that's his biggest advantage. I think the disadvantage is that Congressman Smith is still very tied to President Trump, and the 2026 Iran war has not been doing Republicans a huge favor.
2 candidates have offered their own challenges to the incumbent candidate. Gordon Heslop, a recently retired professor, is running as a Republican to make America normal again. Some of his particular goals are to stabilize costs, making housing more affordable, and promoting trade schools. Chris Reithart, an Army veteran, is running for the Democratic primary. He aims to fight for the blue-collar workers and veterans, and prioritize focus on the thousands of stalled bills within Congress. He is also a strong pro-choice candidate and wants to maintain safe abortion access. While Smith is the favored candidate in the upcoming election, Shin said that she predicts the Republicans will not perform well in the midterms.
I do not think Republicans are going to do well this midterm election because they have a very small margin, and given that statistically speaking, the president's party almost always lose during a midterm election, so Republicans are most likely going to lose. My prediction, of course, will be Democrats taking both the House and also the Senate, and the Republicans will be pushed to the minority status.
For the Southeast Arrow, I'm Abby Volz. Next up, new construction is coming to the Kent Library Terrace. For more on that story, here's Arrow reporter Kerrigan.
SEMO recently announced that the university's Board of Governors approved the redevelopment of the plaza in front of Kent Library. This redevelopment has been coined as the Talbert Terrace. The project's name comes from generous donors Dr. and Mrs. C.R. Talbert. Vice President of University Advancement, Wendell Snodgrass, addressed why this change is significant for the university.
All prospective students go through that area. You want to create an environment that is comfortable. This also gives students another place to gather, to hang out, to be proud of. One of the things I talked to the Talberts about, and I know this is cheesy, but he was a cardiologist, and because he fixed so many hearts, I thought it was appropriate that a cardiologist have their name on the heart of our campus. And that is the heart of our campus. And so we need to have a place for our students to be proud of, to hang out, to have different functions out there. Again, this is one of the biggest reasons why we need to do that.
He discussed plans for when the project is set to begin as well as end.
Bids will go out April 28th. We'll have a contractor selected shortly after. Construction will begin May 11th after graduation, and the plan is to have it done by July 31st.
To learn more about the incoming Talbert Terrace, check out my story on the Southeast Arrow website. For the Southeast Arrow, I'm Kerrigan Foster.
Thank you, Kerrigan. Finally, Arrow reporter Wyatt Sherwin talks about de-stressing before finals.
With exams right around the corner, many SEMO students are feeling the pressure of deadlines, studying, and long nights. From early mornings to late night study sessions, staying productive can quickly turn into burnout.
Yeah, it's definitely stressful. Had a lot of late nights, got a lot of stuff to get done. I feel like if I don't take a break, I just stop being productive.
That's why students are turning to small but effective ways to manage stress, like taking breaks, getting active, or stepping away from the screens. Others are staying ahead by planning out their study time and breaking assignments into smaller, manageable pieces.
I usually go to the gym or go outside to relax for a little bit before going back to studying. I try to write everything down and take it one thing at a time so it doesn't feel overwhelming.
Experts say finding balance is key because taking care of your mental health can be just as important as studying itself. As final week continues, students are encouraged to take time for themselves and find what works best to stay focused and stress-free. Reporting from Southeast Missouri State University, I'm Wyatt Sherwin.
Thank you for watching this episode of From the Newsroom. I'm your host, Abby Volz, and see you next week, Cape Girardeau.